All right, everyone, so I thought I'd have a little fun right there, showing y'all what I have around the house, my quote-unquote I love me wall, which people in the military have, usually a place where they're going to keep a lot of their most special awards, certificates, things of that nature. So I thought I'd show that for the first time ever. Now, give me a minute, let me turn the water off out here, and let's talk about Veterans Day. Today's the Marine Corps birthday. Today is Sunday, November 10th, so the birthday of the Marine Corps is today. So right off the bat, to all my fellow Marines, happy birthday, Devil Dogs. What a beautiful day to be alive, right? Don't we just love this day? Now, tomorrow is Veterans Day, so this video is mainly going to be geared toward Veterans Day, and I want to say right off the bat, happy Veterans Day to everybody out there. Anyone who has served the United States Armed Forces, doesn't matter the branch. Because like I always say, this name tape that's on this side of our chest always has the U.S. in front of the service. That U.S. is what matters, y'all. So, regardless of branch, you are my brother and sister. I love each and every one of y'all. Happy Veterans Day. Now, I don't think I've done a Veterans Day video, not like a legit Veterans Day video. I think I've said Happy Veterans Day in the past. I haven't gone back to look through my videos. If I have done a Veterans Day video, it has been a minute. But, y'all know I always wear the Marine Corps hat. Now this is a different hat. This hat my mom got me a while back, and I love this hat. It's comfortable, it's fitted, it's good to go. But this won't be my normal hat. I'll go back to the other one. But the reason I wear that hat is to always remind myself of where I came from and what my background is and where my loyalty lies. And my loyalty lies to the United States and to our military, and definitely to the Marine Corps, without a doubt. For some of you that don't know, and I don't mention this very often, but I was actually in two branches. I was in the Marine Corps first, then I actually retired out of the Army. I've been asked a million times, why don't I wear anything Army related? Because I'm a Marine. There's the bottom line. Nothing against the Army. I served 5 years in that branch, got injured, retired, and still served our country. But the Marine Corps is where my heart is. It is where my identity is, based on the person that I became while I was in the Corps. Now, let's go back just a little bit. And I know I'm not the only family who has rich history of military service within my family. Now, what's really funny is my mom's dad, I actually kind of followed in his footsteps. Not planned, but it happened. So let me give you a little background on my family's service to our country. So my great-grandfather on my dad's side, we can track him all the way back to World War I. Then my grandfather enlisted during World War II, graduated basic in the Army, went home on leave before shipping to Europe. There was a bad family fire. A lot of people died in that fire. A lot of his brothers and sisters, his mom and dad, passed away. And he was burned over, I think, 60 to 80% of his body, going in constantly and pulling out his brothers and sisters and parents out of that fire. So he ended up not going to World War II, but he was burned very bad. Ended up becoming a preacher and did that for the remainder of his life. Was a really good preacher. I'm not just saying that because he was my grandfather. Learned a lot from him. A lot of early memories with them was in the church, seeing him up preaching, studying, making his sermons, all of that. Now, On that side of the family, I've got cousins that also joined the Army. They did their time. Now, flipping over to my mom's side. My mom's dad, that grandfather, joined the Army, joined the Marines back during the Korean conflict, got out for a while, went into the Army, ended up in Vietnam, retired out of there. So he did both services also, Marines and then Army. It's weird that I followed in his footsteps. Totally was not planned. My mom was in the Army, she did her time. My uncle, her brother, was in the Army, did his time. And then I decided to enlist, and I enlisted in the Marines. Grew up an Army brat, born outside of Fort Knox, Kentucky, grew up there. When my mom was activated for Desert Storm, we ended up in San Antonio. And then I graduated high school from there. But the first time I walked into a Marine recruiting office, I was sold. I hadn't been in there 10 seconds. The air in that office was totally different. There was a level of pride, a level of professionalism, a level of just words I can't say on this channel, just awesome. I was sold. I ended up enlisting when I was 17, was in the delayed entry program for almost 11 months before I went to boot camp. Went to San Diego, which if you all saw that video with me and Darian in San Diego back in July, obviously you know that's where I went. I mean, it's tattooed on my arm. Spent 9 years in the Marines, got out for 2, did some law enforcement, did some truck driving, did some law enforcement, went back in the military, decided to go in the Army, and ended up retiring from the Army. So that is my family's history on serving our country. Now, my oldest daughter joined the Navy, went to boot camp up in Great Lakes, broke her ankle, shin splints and all that, and they sent her home. And since then, she's gone on to do other things, and she's killing it right now. My oldest son is currently in the Army, and in fact, as you're watching this right now, we are actually driving up to see him there outside of Fort Campbell, Kentucky right now. So the tradition of military service in my family is continuing, and my youngest son is trying to join the Corps, the Marines, and who knows what Darian will do. Right now she's in Navy ROTC. I know she's not going to join the military, and that's fine, but hey, you never know. Now, having said all that, what is a veteran? A veteran is anyone who has served at least 6 months on active duty. There's also a reserve component part to all that. I don't know the reserve stuff, I just know the active duty stuff. And gets out of their service with an honorable discharge or an other than honorable discharge. Just depends. That's a veteran. Someone who wrote a blank check to the United States for anything up to their life to defend our country, to defend our way of life. That is what a veteran is. Now, I'm going to end this video with a clip from a local church, and this gentleman really sums up just what a veteran is. He says it way better than I can. That is for sure. Well, I know this isn't a gardening video. I am in the garden though. This is my happy place out here in my backyard. So I thought I would take a few minutes here, share a little bit of my family history, and I would really love to hear your all's family history. So please drop them down in the comments. Let's have a dialogue. Let's hear the amazing stories of our amazing citizens and the family histories that are out there. I'd love to hear it. Truly from the bottom of my heart, I would love to hear it, interact with everyone, and just have a really good dialogue about this day and about the Marine Corps birthday. Can't forget that. So everyone, I hope you all have had a blessed weekend. For all my fellow Marines, I hope you all had a great birthday. Happy birthday to all y'all. To all my fellow vets, again, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, for sure. Now, I'm gonna end this video, like I said, with a clip from a church here in the Spring area. For those of you that are curious, I am not monetizing this video. I don't want a penny for this video. So I'm borrowing a clip from a church. Hopefully when YouTube flags it, they will send all the ad revenue to the church. That's kind of the goal that I wanted to have anyway. Give the church the money for this video. This gentleman, I'm not even going to say it. The pastor explains his background. An amazing gentleman, and hope y'all enjoy this video. Really do. And again, y'all take care. God bless. For all of you that are veterans or the families of veterans, thank you all for your service to our country. I'll talk to y'all again real soon. Bye. Hey, Semper Fi.
Called What is a Veteran? Joel is a veteran. He's a veteran of the Korean War. He's an Army Ranger, a paratrooper, a jump master, and Special Forces operator. And so we are so excited to have Mr. Joel Hollis.
Most of us take holidays for granted, but I want you to remember November the 11th, what Veterans Day is all about. So what is a veteran? Some veterans bear visible signs of their service: a missing limb, a jagged scar, a certain look in their eye. Others may carry evidence inside them: a pin holding a bone together, a piece of shrapnel in the leg, or perhaps another sort of inner steel, a soul that's been forged in the fire and furnace of adversity. Except in parades, however, the men and women who have kept America safe wear no badge or emblem. You can't tell a vet by looking. So who is a veteran? He's the cop on the beat who spent 6 months in Saudi Arabia, sweating 2 gallons a day, making sure that armored personnel carriers didn't run out of fuel. He's the barroom loudmouth, dumber than 5 wooden planks, whose overgrown fraternity boy behavior is outweighed 100 times in the silent history by 4 hours of exquisite bravery near the 38th parallel in Korea. She or he is the nurse who fought against futility and went to sleep sobbing every night for 2 solid years in Da Nang. He's the POW who went away one person and came back another, or didn't come back at all. He's the drill instructor that never seen combat, but has saved countless lives by turning slouchy, no-account rednecks and gang members into disciplined soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen, teaching them to watch each other's back. He's the parade-riding legionnaire who pins on his ribbons and medals with a prosthetic hand. He's the career quartermaster who watches the ribbons and medals pass him by. He's the 3 anonymous heroes in the Tomb of the Unknowns, whose presence at the National Cemetery, Arlington National Cemetery, must forever preserve the memory of all the anonymous heroes whose valor dies unrecognized with them on the battlefield or in the ocean's sunless deep. He's the old guy bagging groceries at the supermarket, who shares, who shakes now and has a hand withering away and is aggravatingly slow, who helped liberate a Nazi death camp, who wishes all day long that his wife were still alive to hold him when the nightmares come. He's the ordinary and yet an extraordinary human being, a person who offers some of his life's most vital years in the service of his country, and who sacrificed his ambitions so others would not have to sacrifice theirs. He's the author, he's the soldier, and he's the sword against the darkness. And he's nothing but the finest, greatest testimony on behalf of the finest, greatest nation ever known. So remember, each time you see someone who has served our country, just lean over and say, thank you. That's all most people need. And in most cases, it will mean more than any medals that could ever have been awarded or were awarded. Two little words that mean a lot. Thank you. Remember November the 11th, for it's the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier, not the NFL, who has given players the freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag. And it's the soldier who allows a protester to burn the flag. May God bless the United States of America. One nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.